Good morning, students. Let us move ahead in the chapter number 11, Tools of DNA Recombinant Technology. Second tool is cloning vector. We know that plasmids and bacteriophages have the ability to replicate within the bacterial cells, independent of the control of chromosomal DNA. So, extra chromosomal DNA is plasmid. Bacteriophages, because of their high number per cell, have very high copy numbers of their genome within the bacterial cell. Some plasmids may have only one or two copies per cell, whereas others may have 15 to 100 copies per cell. Their number can go even higher. If we are able to link an alien piece of DNA, that is the piece of DNA in which we are interested, with the bacteriophage or plasmid DNA, we can multiply its number equal to the copy number of the plasmid or bacteriophage. Vectors used at present are engineered in such a way that they help easy linking of foreign DNA and selection of recombinants from non-recombinants. The following are the features that are required to facilitate cloning into a vector. Origin of replication, that is ORI sequence. This is the sequence from where replication starts, and any piece of DNA when linked to this sequence may be made to replicate within the host cell. We have already studied about ORI sequence, na? So while replication it is most in prokaryotes. This sequence is also responsible for controlling the copy number of the linked DNA. So, if one wants to recover many copies of the target DNA, it should be cloned in a vector whose origin supports high copy number. Selectable marker. In addition to ORI, the vector requires a selectable marker which helps in identifying and eliminating non-transformants and selectively permitting the growth of the transformants. Transformation is the procedure through which a piece of DNA is introduced in a host bacterium. Normally, the genes encoding resistance to antibiotics such as ampicillin, chloramphenicol, tetracycline, or kanamycin, etc., are considered useful selectable markers for E. coli. The normal E. coli cells do not carry resistance against any of these antibiotics. Third feature required in a cloning vector is cloning site. In order to link the DNA, the vector needs to have very few preferable single recognition site for a commonly used restriction enzyme. Presence of more than one recognition site within the vector will generate several fragments which will complicate the gene cloning. The ligation of alien DNA is carried out at restriction site present in one of the two antibiotic resistant genes. For example, you can ligate a foreign DNA at the BAMH1 site of tetracycline resistance gene in the vector PBR322. The recombinant plasmids will lose tetracycline resistance due to insertion of foreign DNA, but can still be selected out from the non-recombinant ones by plating the transformants on the ampicillin containing medium that transferred on a medium containing tetracycline. The recombinants will grow in ampicillin containing medium but not on that containing tetracycline. But non-recombinants will grow on the medium containing both antibiotics. In this case, one antibiotic resistance gene help in selecting the transformants while the other antibiotic resistance gene gets inactivated during insertion of the alien DNA and helps in the selection of recombinants. Selection of recombinants due to inactivation of antibiotics is a cumbersome procedure because it requires simultaneous plating on two plates having different antibiotics. Therefore, alternative selectable markers have been developed which differentiate recombinants from non-recombinants on the basis of their ability to produce color in the presence of chromogenic substrate. In this, a recombinant DNA is inserted within the coding sequence of an enzyme, beta galactosidase. This results into inactivation of a gene for synthesis of the enzyme, which is referred to as insertional activation. The presence of the chromogenic substrate gives blue colored colonies in the plasmid in the bacteria does not have insert. Presence of insert results into insertional inactivation of the beta galactosidase gene and the colonies do not produce any color. These are identified as the recombinant colonies. Vectors for cloning gene in plants and animals. You may be surprised to know that we have learned the lesson of transferring gene into plants and animals from bacteria and viruses which have known this for ages. How to deliver gene to transform eukaryotic cells and force them to do what the bacteria or virus want. For example, Agrobacterium tumefaciens, a pathogen of several dicot plants, is able to deliver a piece of DNA known as tDNA to transform normal plant cells into a tumor and direct these tumor cells to produce the chemicals required by the pathogen. Similarly, retrovirus in animals have the ability to transform normal cells into cancerous cells. A better understanding of the art of delivering gene by pathogen in their eukaryotic host has generated knowledge to transform these tools of pathogen into useful vectors for delivering the gene of interest to human. The tumor-inducing TI plasmid of Agrobacterium tumefaciens has now been modified into a cloning vector which is no more pathogenic to the plants but is still able to use the mechanism to deliver gene of our interest into a variety of plant. Similarly, retroviruses have been disarmed and are now used to deliver desirable gene into animal cells. So, once a gene or a DNA fragment has been ligated into a suitable vector, it is transferred into a bacterial, plant, or animal host wherever it may multiply. Here is plasmid vector of E. coli PBR 322, which consists of resistance for two antibiotics ampicillin and tetracycline. In ampicillin resistance gene, there are two sites for restriction endonuclease, PVU1 and PST1, while in tetracycline, two other restriction sites are available, BAMH1 and SAL1. PVU2 site is present in ROP gene of the plasmid. Then EcoR1, CLAV1 and HIN3 are the sites that are present outside or in between the ampicillin and tetracycline resistance gene. ORI sequence is there from which the replication starts. Next is competent host. That is, for transformation with recombinant DNA, we must have a host in which we can insert the vector or plasmid or bacteriophage. Since DNA is a hydrophilic molecule, it cannot pass through the cell membrane. Why? In order to force bacteria to take up the plasmid, the bacterial cells must first be made competent to take up DNA. This is done by treating them with specific concentration of divalent cation such as calcium, which makes the bacterial cell easily take up the DNA, the bacterium through the pores in the cell wall. Recombinant DNA can then be forced into such cells by incubating the cells with recombinant DNA on ice, followed by placing them briefly at 42 degrees Celsius, that is heat shock, and then putting them back on ice. This enables the bacteria to take up the recombinant DNA very easily. This is not only way to introduce a alien DNA into the host cell. In a method known as microinjection, recombinant DNA is directly injected into the nucleus of the animal cell. So in this method, with the use of an injection like needle, the DNA, the recombinant DNA plasmid or the vector DNA is directly injected into the host cell. Here is an animated video that shows the microinjection. In another method, suitable for plant cells are bombarded with high velocity microparticles of gold or tungsten coated with the DNA in a method known as biolistic or gene gun. And the last method uses disarmed pathogen vectors which, when are allowed to infect the cell, transfer of recombinant DNA into the host. Here is an animated video of how the gold particles coated with the DNA are injected directly into the cells. We can see that this is suitable only for the plant cells. When the gold particle is coated with the desired gene of interest, for example, here the BT gene is used. So hundreds of gold particles are coated with thousands of the copies of the new gene. Gold particles are injected into the cell and they are directly taken up by the nucleus. The coated gold particles are accelerated with the air. They come out and the inserted gene of interest gets inserted into the genome of the plant cell. This is the way how the gene becomes the part of the cell DNA. Here is the retrovirus, how it can take the foreign gene to the cell, releases only the genetic material